Okay. Hey everybody. So, new version of Ideamaker. It's the beta version. I've been using it for a couple weeks, and sorry, I'm frustrated because it's like the third time I've done this video. And it's not the software, it's me. Anyway, I'm being stupid. So anyway, there's some new features in it that I think are pretty cool. So Cura has some cool features, undoubtedly. I like Cura. I like Ideamaker more because I get better quality prints. So I've been pretty much using it exclusively for the last few months, couple months. I don't know. It all blends together now, at least a few months. And so the stable version or the released version is 2.6, and I'll show you where to get the beta if you want it. But it's incorporated a couple of the features from Cura that are really cool, like Tweak It Z. So the equivalent of Cura's Tweak It Z script, so you can change your temperatures based on model height or different layers of the model. They've now incorporated into this latest beta build. So I'm going to show you. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm yelling. Sorry. 3 times. This is the last one though. So here, let me get rid of all this crap so you can see. Oh, stupid fidgets. So if you want to get the latest one, here's the easiest way to go. You go to the raise3d.com and why? Oh, forums. Duh. Let's back up. So I'll get you there from this. So here's raise3d.com. And if you want the stable one, you haven't already got it, you go to products and you go to Ideamaker and you scroll down to the bottom and you go get the latest and greatest GA or generally available release. If you want the new beta, and depending on obviously when you're watching this video, it's December 7th, 2017. You go to the support website and you go to, oh my gosh, stop this freaking video again. This is gonna be number 4. Oh my god. Stop it. Community. And you go to the software section here. And then this first post here is the Ideamaker 3.0 beta release notes. And in there is where you can download the latest beta. So you can tell they did this one 11/29 is when they dropped 3.04. And I think before that they did 11, it was like the 13th, third updated rev. Yeah, so 11/13. So a couple weeks ago they did one a couple weeks before that. So they got a pretty decent sprint cycle as far as releases go. So here you go, this is where you download it. And it uninstalls your current version and installs over the top. And it keeps all your machine settings. It keeps your... Did you guys freaking drug me? Holy cow. Alright, it's not that late. It's like 9 o'clock. Oh, Jesus. Old. Getting old. And so it keeps all your machine profile settings. It keeps your... see, I'm thinking about yawning now. Now I'm going to freaking yawn. But it keeps your machine profiles and it keeps your filament profiles all standard. Or at least what you had. So you don't have to recreate crap unless you want to, but it'll keep it all for you. So anyway, let's go through on a temperature tower and I'll show you. We'll do the Tweak It Z thing first. And then I've been messing around with different size nozzles, and so it's an easy way to sort of make a new machine profile on Ideamaker, so you can quickly switch between nozzle sizes, and you can still use your same your filament profile settings from machine to machine. And it's a super easy way to do it. So let's add. So first things first, we'll do the temp tower and the Tweak It Z. So I like using this temperature tower, the better temperature tower, and I'll put a link for it in the video. And we'll use this 240 to 160. I don't have any PLA that prints at 160. I don't know what the hell anyone, but anyway. So you can tell the first one, the first spot down here is 240, and about every, so many layers, we don't know yet, I'm going to show you how to get that. Every so many layers we need to drop the temperature by 5 degrees. And again, this goes all the way to 260, and I'm not going to make you sit through all those iterations of dropping temperature, because then you'll be yawning and then we'll just be having a weird time. So so the first thing we need to do, like I said, is count our layers. We need to know which layers we want to drop our temperature. So real quick, I'm going to go to start, And again, I'm using my 0.6 machine nozzle, machine settings here. Now if you're using 0.4 and a different layer height, it's okay. Now I know that in this profile, my basic PLA profile for my 0.6 nozzle, I'm doing a 0.4 layer height, and that's what I plan on printing that temperature tower with. You can do whatever you want. You want to do a 0.4 nozzle and a 0.2 layer height, whatever. I'm printing a lot right now with a 0.6 nozzle and 0.4, so that's what I'm doing it on, because it prints fast, and that's what I need right now, fast. So that's all you need to know at this point. What you need to get is the preview window up, because the preview window tells you, lets you move around from layer to layer. So pick that profile, hit slice, get this little window. We're going to pick our preview window. Again, the only thing we care about right now is counting layers. So we know which layer to drop our temperature at. So this thing's a total of 300-ish layers tall. Let's come all the way down to the bottom. So if we just start mousing up a little bit, so we're going to say the first 5 layers are like this makeshift raft. That's just part of the nozzle model. Oh my god! And I'm betting that somewhere around 15-ish, because I've done this video a few times. I'm sorry, 20-ish. 15 layers after this 5 layer is about where we want to change. So about layer 20-ish. 22, 21, 22. We'll do it at 20. That layer 20, so every 15 layers is where we want to drop the temperature by 5 degrees. So layer 20, we're going to drop it by 5. Layer 35-ish. 20 plus 15 is 35. And then we'll do probably another, so at around layer 58. Sorry, no. Call it 56. So like write this stuff down too, not like this one, but when you're slicing your model and you're in preview and you want to, so layer 6, I want to drop it to this temperature. Layer 20, I want to drop it. So just write it down on a sticky note and you'll get an idea. Every 16, 17 layers, we're going to drop the temperature by 5 degrees. So it's super easy. So I know. So for the video purposes, we're saying every 15 layers, we're going to drop it. Okay. So that's all you needed that preview window for. Let's come back over to start now. We already know we're using this profile. Go to edit and advanced. And you come over to the temperature, because we're not really messing with this. This is our basic profile. There's not really much that we care to change here. We'll leave our fan the same. Oh, and there's some other new features too, but we won't have time in this video. I'll do another one. Temperature tower. So right by default, let's get rid of all this stuff. Remove. Okay. So by default, this is what it looks like when you open it. It's saying that my default temperature is 200 degrees in a 50 degree bed. Now if you use temperature control list, you are overriding your defaults here and you are going to put in new layers. So we know that our first layer is going to be 240. Add. And we know 20-ish layers later, we're going to drop it by 5 degrees, right? 5 layer raft, 15 layer thingy with the bridging and the overhangs. So we're going to say 20. And then we're going to drop this 5 degrees. And now after that, we're going every 15. Ish, right? Write it down. So layer 35, we're going to drop it 5 degrees, add, and then at layer 50, wink, we're going to drop it another 5, and then at layer 65, we'll drop it another 5. So I think you get the idea, hopefully. So once you get them all layered in there as far down as you want to go, like I typically go to like 180, maybe. It really kind of depends on the filament, but like I don't have a point to go below 180. I haven't had a need to go. I would think at that point I'm just going to be under extrude city. But anyway, so So if you don't want that, the 175 until 160, then cut it, right? Cut it out of the model. You don't even need it then at that point. And just go to 180. That's right with the free cut in here. It makes it super easy to just come down and slap the top off of it and delete it and be done. So this is all we need to do. So look, every 15 we're going to drop 5 degrees. So you hit OK. You save it. Slice. And there's no point in doing the preview again. It's not going to show you your temperature. That would be cool if it did, but it's not going to. It would be nice if it showed you like like this was shaded different colors and like glowing red at the bottom and then less red towards. That would be kind of cool. I don't talk to those Race 3Z guys. So anyway, so now just save it and export it and go print your thingy. And then so the thing to remember though, like Cura, so like in Cura, when you do the tweak at Z and you add those modify or what is it, post processing modify G code add script, and when you add those, it remembers that you added those. And even if you get rid of this model, so let's say right after that I'm going to throw another model, another G code file, because then I'm going to print right after this. So let's delete this and let's add Chrysler Building. Let's do Chrysler Building. And it's broke. Fix. Bang, fixed. And so now if we go back over to Slice and we go in here and edit and advanced and go to temperature, right, we saved that profile that way. So if you don't want your next model to start at 240 and then gradually cool off, then you need to remember to delete this. And I mean, the smart thing to do would then be to save that as a temperature tower PLA profile, and then you never have to change it again. Then you still have your basic, and then you have this one. But anyway, if you forget, like I do every once in a while, just go back because it saved it. You told it to save it, so make sure that's not there. And then OK and save and close and Slice and go from there. So while I have this up, the other new feature that was added. And not in 304, but like 302 or 303, one of those other betas that just came out, was multi-layer processes or multiple process control. So I like this model a lot. I printed it. Oh look, I printed it. Look, Johnny, I printed it. And so I did it and I played around with it, and I did basically this whole thing at 0.2, and I knew when it got up here towards the top that it was going to have, I wanted it to not do the top all sloppy. Like I knew it wasn't going to do the needle. The needle's tiny. There's no way, even with my 0.4 nozzle, that it was doing that. I would have dropped down to like a 0.3 or 0.2 nozzle, or you scale the thing up. But I didn't want to do that. So I did basically everything. I did 90% of this at a 0.2 layer height, and then I don't know if you can see this or not. Probably too dark. Hold on. Wait. Maybe. And so, wait, there's an easy way for me to. Okay, so everything from the bottom up was done at a 0.2, and way up the top 20 layers, the 20 millimeters, I told it to switch and do a 0.1 layer height, and then slow it down to like 20 millimeters a second because I wanted this thing to come out nice and clean on top, and it really did. It came out nice. It is really smooth, and you can hardly, and it's hard to, I don't have the best gear here, people, but you can hardly tell that there's even layer lines in the top 20 millimeters of this thing. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, let me get rid of that. So here's how you do that. So same thing. Same sort of principle. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to change my printer back down to my 0.4 nozzle. I'm going to do my basic PLA. I'm going to go to Edit and Advanced. And oh wait, sorry, hold on. I screwed up. It's back here. Back here. It's in this group and layer settings. Now again, when you add group and layer settings, they stay there unless you get rid of them. So I made the mistake too where I added group per layer settings to one of my models, this Chrysler Tower one, and then I totally just mailed it in and forgot about them. and I printed a couple other things afterwards, and I noticed like I had a band had a band like 80 millimeters up that was super cool and detailed, and the rest of it totally didn't match the model that I was expecting. And it was like in the preview, it showed me in the preview it was going to be different, and I just ignored it. So anyway, so if you want to add a per layer setting, it's right here. Here's your main template tab. You go to your group and layer settings, and the per model extruder, don't worry about it because you only got one extruder, so don't worry about that. So per layer settings plus, and so for setting 1, basically saying starting at, so I know that model was, well, it tells me right here, it's 116 millimeters tall. And this is saying, well, what's my starting Z millimeter that I want to tweak something? So I want to start, let's just call it at, we'll just do it easy. We'll do it at 100. And I want to end at 116. I want to change my layer height from 0.3 in this case to 0.1. And I want to reduce my speed. Right now it's at 100%, right? So whatever your setting is, for that particular profile you're using, if you're doing 40 millimeters per second or 50, 60, whatever. But I wanted to slow it down. I think that one I did at 40. So I wanted this one to be down to like 20. And holy shit! Sorry, doing it again. So I changed my my layer height resolution, and I changed my speed multiplier down to 50%. So the top 20-ish millimeters here, 16 in this case. I did it at 0.1, and then I slowed it way down, and it kept the detail. I was really worried it was going to be all fast and nasty and whatever, but it came out really good. So then you hit slice, go to preview, and you can kind of, like on this one's really small, so it's hard to tell, but you can tell right there. See that? And so I obviously didn't do it, but you can tell here. There's our 0.3 layers, and there's our 0.1 layers, so you can see that they're really fine. So that's kind of the nice thing too, is it even tells you, look, I'm giving you a tail. So if you make that tweak and you notice it's not the distance you're looking for, like I really needed to probably come down here, well then exit, get rid of this, go back to slice, go back to your layer settings. It tells you still have a layer setting. So I'm going to say my starting will be let's just call it 80, and all the way up to 116, and then we'll reslice it and preview. And there you go. So you can see the band changing in here. So there are 0.3 layers, and then here's where it switches to our 0.1 layers. So that's a cool feature. I don't care who you are. That's a good one right there. And I don't know, maybe S3D has it. I don't think Cura has. Like I couldn't find in Cura, because I don't play with it much anymore, where you could change the resolution at a different layer. Maybe you can at Tweak It Z. I don't remember. I don't care anymore. I use this thing. So there's that one. And then one last one that I talked about at the beginning, which is, so if you're using different size nozzles. So again, right, I've got, so if you go to your print settings, and this is my basic, the CR10 one, right, from the previous video about how to set up Ideamaker for your CR10. And you specify your printer type and blah, blah, blah. So this is my 0.4 nozzle. And so if you want to duplicate your all your settings here, because you're going to go up to a 0.6 nozzle or a 0.8 nozzle, whatever you want to do, just duplicate. Change the name. So I'm going to call this a CR10 0.6 nozzle, and X, Y, Z, so I know to delete it later. And then you change this diameter to 0.6 or whatever your nozzle is. And that's really all you have to change. You don't have to mess with anything else. Hit OK. All right, and then when you go to slice now you can pick your your 0.6 nozzle profile there. Now you notice a lot of your templates have gone away, because all of your templates that you have are probably built with your 0.4 nozzle machine setting, and so they by default aren't going to, because this is technically a new printer from Ideamaker's perspective. So if you want to import one of your other profiles to use on this one, it's pretty easy. You go back to your go back to here and let's just, so I'm going to bring over my my litho profile. So go litho, you export. Do you want to export the template including layer settings? No. No. I don't want to keep those layer settings. Name it, put it on your desktop, I don't care where you put it. Name it whatever you want. And then you come back over to your 0.6 nozzle and you're going to say import. And I know I have one over here, so I'm just going to grab one of these and name it something. And okay. And so now all you have to do is come in here and edit this and change your layer heights. Right, so if I'm going to be doing a 0.4 nozzle, I'll go down to like a 0.3 layer height or a 0.4 in your first layer height, 0.4. And then on your extruder, you need to do your extrusion width, right, at 0.6. And then from there, you really don't have to mess with anything else. Those two things are all you really have to do, right? Because you change your nozzle, so change your extrusion width, change whatever your layer heights you want to print with. And then hit OK, save and close, and now you have now you have your same tried and true template from your 0.4 nozzle setup over to your 0.6. Now again, you know, you'll have to play with retraction settings and retraction speeds. You're pumping a bunch of plastic through a caulk gun at that point, so you got to play around with it. But for the most part, your settings are going to be the same. So. So that's it for now. I think I've rambled on enough. So I hope you liked. Hope you learned something. I guess I'll leave comments on because I got a really nice comment from somebody. So I'll leave comments on. You start messing with me. I'm kidding. I'm gonna cut this whole last part. So anyway, that's it. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. And subscribe if you like. And but there'll be more.